All right. Ok, ya está. All right. No obstante, si algo tenemos que cortar, no te preocupes porque luego esto lo voy a editar, ¿vale?
Ok, está bien.
Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? Welcome back to UTalk TV. Today we have an interview, all right, with one of my former students, uno de mis primeros alumnos que tuve cuando yo estuve en Estados Unidos. Sí, su nombre es Ángel Eloísa, y es uno de los que más recuerdo tengo, que era muy participativo, súper brillante. Había estado muy poco, bueno, llevaba como un par de años, ahora nos contará cuando yo le empecé a dar clase. And so we're going to be speaking English and Spanish and going back and forth. And so guys, you'll be able to get a picture of what it's like to speak both languages. And we're going to speak about what is it like to basically growing up speaking two languages, and if it opens doors, if it doesn't, or all the advantages and all the difficulties to learn it. And he's going to give us a lot of advice, muchos consejos y recomendaciones, y bueno, sobre todo vamos a intentar que sea motivacional. So aquí tenemos a Ángel. Ángel, how are you doing, Angel?
Hola, maestro. Muy buenas tardes. ¿Cómo está?
Muy bien, encantado de tenerte aquí. Y,
The pleasure is all mine.
Fijaos que es totalmente, fijaos cómo ha dicho eso. Vamos a ver, repite. The pleasure is all mine, right?
The pleasure is all mine.
Ok, increíble que Ángel, bueno, os cuento que yo trabajé en Estados Unidos de los 25 a los 28 años. Era mi primer trabajo, prácticamente yo no hablaba inglés, y Ángel había emigrado de México. ¿Tú emigraste con 10 años? No, perdón, antes, ¿no? Con unos 8 años aproximadamente, ¿no? ¿O 7?
Sí, tenía 8 años a punto de cumplir los 9 años.
Qué bueno, qué bueno. And so you didn't speak any English when you made it there, right?
No, when I came from Mexico, I spoke no English. So everything that I know is, I learned it here in the United States.
The hard way, from scratch, right?
From scratch, from zero.
All right. So you were 7 when you got there, and you didn't speak any English. And so how did you still remember that, and how you learned that? What tricks you used to learn it, or?
Yeah, absolutely. So the way that I learned it the most was just conversating with people. In school, they taught us the ABCs, and they taught us how to count, and they taught us basic words. But the way that I learned the most is just through conversating with friends. Wow. And just watching TV as well. So watching, I was the kid.
You were a kid, so I guess you were watching cartoons and movies, or?
Exactly. Yeah, watching cartoons and movies. And I remember it was Dora the Explorer, one of the cartoons that I used to learn.
No kidding. So it was already just produced, so to speak. I thought it was something newer. Dora the Explorer.
Yeah, it was around back then. So I used to watch it every day before school and after school, and I would just try to say the same words that I heard.
So you had a system on your own, just try to basically you were trying to, this is important, to imitate, to replicate what she was saying, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Because this is part of, our method is based on that. Because basically what we're doing is, both my brother and I learned from scratch when we were 25 and older. And then basically it was repetition. So our method is a replica of what we did. And so it's interesting that you were doing that, but at age 7 and just on your own.
Exactly. Yeah. I think repetition is key, especially with learning a new language. You have to put what you're learning to practice.
Wow. And it's funny because you don't have any accent both in Spanish or in English. And I remember it was already like that when I met you, because I taught you 5th grade. Era quinto de primaria, y recuerdo que cuando, sí, ya llevas ahí 2 años, pero del principio al final del curso fue un cambio radical. Era como, al final del curso prácticamente eras como ya el resto de los niños. O sea, que tu progresión fue impresionante.
Sí, fue progresión lenta, pero sí, yo pienso que en el quinto año, cuando usted fue mi maestro, es cuando elevé mi nivel de inglés.
Qué bueno, qué bueno. All right. And so you said it was basically watching movies and then repetition. And you started school when you got there when you were 7. What did you do? You did a second, third grade, maybe?
Yeah. So when I came from Mexico, I was 8, but it was in the middle of third grade. So when I came here, I knew zero English. I came right in the middle of the semester, right in the middle of third grade. So it was a pretty big change.
And was it frustrating for you to just go to school and not understanding anybody, or those difficulties to communicate? Was it frustrating or was it motivating? What do you remember about that?
Yeah, it was a combination of both. I knew, so in the beginning, it was a little bit frustrating, just because all the kids around me were speaking English and I didn't know what they were saying. And, you know, being a kid, I'm thinking that they're making fun of me for not speaking
Yeah, absolutely.
English. But it was very motivating as well. I've always been really competitive. So I always just wanted to be right there with the rest of them.
All right. And was there any friends or particular friend that would help you on and off with your English in the playground, or not that you remember of?
Yeah. So actually, I'm still friends with him now. His name is Victor.
Victor, do I know him? Was he one of my students, or?
He might have been one of your students, Victor Estefania. He was short. He had like an earpiece because he had a hearing problem. I'm not sure if you remember.
I don't remember that. So
okay.
Yes.
Yeah, but we used to live right next to each other when we were kids, and a lot of the times he would come over after school and help me with my homework. And he was one of the people that I practiced my English with the most.
He definitely he did a good job with you, because man, your English is outstanding. Your Spanish too. I mean, you've a clear example of a bilingual person. And so,
well, thank you. I try.
that makes a difference, because of course, when you hear somebody having an exotic accent, either in Spanish or English, whatever language, it can be funny for a while, but then it's not that cool. So to me, that's why we pay so much attention to accent, pronunciation, fluency, all that. Do you think that it is important when it comes to learning a foreign language? Just pay attention to those details. Just trying to sound like the real thing. Do you think it is important?
Yeah, I think it's very important. I think it greatly improves communication with people, you know, just by speaking correctly, just by saying the words that people around you are saying.
Exactly.
For example, like we spoke about earlier, like with the color purple, you know.
Exactly. I was telling you that pretty much all my English pronunciation, all my pronunciation tricks that I'm using now to teach, I learned with you guys. And I've brought that up many times on my videos and on my lessons, that every time I would say, it's purple. Because remember, I told you when I made it there to the US, I had been studying on my own for only 3-4 months. So my English might have been a beginner's level. Not to mention pronunciation. I would say purple, and you guys would go, ha ha ha, Mr. Monash, is that purple? Come on, repeat, purple. And I went, okay, Ellen, repeat, purple. Angel, purple. Okay, let me take it down. And
exactly.
after like a few months, then whenever you guys would not be laughing at a particular word, I say, okay, maybe I'm kind of getting it. Yeah. So that word, purple, right? It's a difficult one.
Yeah, that's one that's stuck with me the most, that you used to say. But pronunciation is key. You know, it helps people understand you, and it helps you communicate clearly.
And it also helps you understand too, because if you're saying purple, it's purple, then when you listen to the real thing, it's purple. it's like a communication breakdown there, right? So it not only
Exactly.
is it going to sound better, but it's going to make you understand way better.
Exactly. You said
Right.
it.
So yes, and I remember, well, purple, and I remember also, like I was supposed to teach you guys like pretty much, wait, I'm looking for the time, just to keep control. Okay, here, right here. So I also remember, I used to teach you guys like science and all that, maths, and one particular word was nature, and I remember saying nature or something like that, and you guys would laugh. No, Mr. Monash, it's not nature. Repeat nature. And okay, and the same with future and second.
Exactly.
I remember saying second, and everybody was like, "Oh, it's not second, it's second." Or, "Oh, I like it." No, come on, ha ha ha. No sea paisanito, Mr. Monash. Yeah, no sea paisanito. Tiene que decir I like it. It's not I like it. So it was so, for me, it was such a learning experience. And so
Exactly.
it taught me not only how to learn myself, but also tricks to teach it right now. So,
Exactly. Yeah. See, it was mutually beneficial. You know, you learned from us and we learned from you.
absolutely. And I don't know if you remember, but you might not remember that, but I would always carry like a notebook. And also back then, por aquel entonces, back then, we didn't have these mobiles, but we used to have little translators like this. And
I remember.
I didn't have time to just have a dictionary and look it up. So I would carry these little translators, and whenever I came up with something I didn't understand, I just looked it up and take it down to my notebook. I still have those notes, but mostly what
That's
I learned,
amazing.
yeah, the most there was a lot of expressions and catchphrases and a lot of pronunciation tricks. So it's I'm really grateful for you, to you guys, and also a big shout out to the field school, right? Because that was the name of the field school, was the name of
Yep.
the school I was teaching and where I taught you guys. And,
Exactly. Yeah. Field Elementary,
Field
5th grade.
Elementary School, exactly, in Wheeling, right?
Wheeling, Illinois, right outside of Chicago.
Exactly.
For those of you that kind of know where it is.
It was a beautiful school, and so a shout out to the field school, and yes, and great memories from that that era. And do you still keep up with some of your friends there?
Yeah, I do actually. I still live right near where the school is.
Yeah.
So I still keep up with some people
Oh,
in there.
you live in Buffalo Grove, you told me, right?
Yeah, I live in Buffalo Grove, which is about 5 minutes from Wheeling, where the school used to be. So I actually drive by there all the time. So
Yeah.
great memories.
I was checking because I said it's supposed to say field, right? It's like an E sound, right? Field school. When I listened to you said, I might have said it wrong. Field school. So exactly. Yes, Buffalo Grove. And so you might, after field school, you went to Buffalo High, or where do you go to high school?
So after Field Elementary, I actually went to the school across the street, which is a middle school. It was called Jack London Middle School.
Oh, Jack London. Yeah, across the street. Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, right across the street, and I went there for grades 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Wow.
And then after that, I went to Buffalo Grove High School.
Oh, wow. And then you went to college, right?
Yeah, I went to community college, which is a smaller 2-year college here in Palatine. I actually went to Harper College.
Oh, Harper, yeah. It was a well-known place, yes.
Yeah, it's a very good school. And I studied IT, which is information technology. And I studied a little bit of business.
Wow.
Before going to an actual 4-year university, which I'm almost finished with now, actually.
That's awesome. All right, so now you're working and you're still attending university then?
Yeah, I took about a year and a half off but I'm working full-time and I'm going to the university full-time as well.
That is awesome. That is setting an example, Angel. Congratulations. Now you working at what was it? A software company, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm working for a big software company.
Oh.
We provide software for car dealerships. So I've been working there for about 3 years, and I'm currently in management. So
awesome! Wow,
yeah,
you're moving up.
I like it.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, moving up slowly. Hopefully, I can. Thanks to my studying, I can hopefully be a software developer sometime soon.
Absolutely, you'll make it. Yes, no question about that. Yeah.
Thank you.
And yeah, I remember now, it was so funny one time, but a couple of times you said that. You might not remember this, but you say, oh, maestro, cuando pasamos allí por la frontera, por Arizona, estuvimos una semana, nos dieron puro pollo y agua. Do you remember that?
I do remember.
It was so funny. Estamos, sí, nos dieron puro pollo, así, puro pollo y agua.
That's awesome that you remember that.
Because it was so funny. Yeah, and I remember something else that was funny too. We were like, everybody was lining up just to, at the end of the, just dismissing at the end of one particular day. And I was standing like that, and then you looked at me here. I don't know, what is this called? This little thing here in English?
We call it Adam's apple.
Exactly. And you go, oh, maestro, ¿puedo tocar? And I go, yes, go ahead. And say, se siente como pollo. That was funny too. Anyways, those little things that, and I don't, no sé quién era quien me decía también, alguno de vosotros, no creo que no eras tú, pero otro que me decía, ay, pues ya se mira, no, ya, a lo mejor entraba una profesora a dar alguna cosa y me decían, pues ya no sea paisanito, Mr. Monag, eche los perros a Mrs. Williams, ya se mira bien bonita, dígale algo, no sea paisanito, jaja, that was...
Tremendos chavales, ¿no?
Era muy gracioso. Decían, se mira bien perrona su chamarra. Había palabras que, claro, pues de las diferencias entre el español de España y el español de México, que a mí me resultaban muy graciosas. Entonces me acuerdo de esas cosas. ¿Y qué más? Había otra que decían. No sé, ya me vendrá, pero me acuerdo de algunas cosas de esas que eran súper graciosas. Pero en plan, tiene que ser más aventadito. No sé, allá echen los perros o cosas así de típicas.
Sí.
Sí, también venían.
Expresiones.
Siempre venían con cosas a la hora de la comida o tal, pues con cosas súper picantes. Pues una especie de patatas que eran que eran muy picantes. Y a lo mejor me daban y yo me ponía todo colorado. Y decía, mira, se enchiló el maestro, se enchiló. Así. O cosas así.
Yeah, sí, me acuerdo muy bien de eso. Le dábamos que le llamamos hot Cheetos.
Eso sí, que tenían como fuego. Era una bolsa que eran Cheetos, pero que ponía fuego y tal, especial para mexicanos, ¿no? Y era como, ¡guau! Me abrazaba. Se enchiló. Pero fíjate que me acostumbré a comer cosas picantes y desde entonces, siempre que voy a un sitio aquí y puedo, como comida súper picante. Me he acostumbrado de esa época. Y aquí en España los restaurantes mexicanos no tienen picante, porque aquí en España el picante la gente no está acostumbrada.
No existe ya. Sí.
Fui a un restaurante mexicano aquí en mi ciudad y no tenían nada de picante. Y tuve que pedirle, aparte como tabasco y así, pero yo de la época esa me acostumbré. Y luego también tengo mucha buena opinión de la cultura mexicana, porque claro, yo hablaba con todos los padres, había reuniones de alumnos y padres y siempre tenía mucho apoyo. Cada vez que algún alumno se portaba mal, yo llamaba y los padres siempre me daban mucho apoyo. Y es una cultura muy cercana. Sí, me gustó mucho.
Sí, somos muy cercanos a la familia, los mexicanos.
Y mucho apoyo al maestro, mucho respeto también.
Oh, sí, mucho.
Sí.
Admiramos los maestros en México.
Sí, entonces estaba muy bien. Incluso los niños siempre me trataban con mucho respeto. La verdad es que estuvo muy bien, muy bien. And so back to your English. Do you think it is opening a lot of doors for you. Like it is helping you a lot to speak both languages and in general, overall, speaking two languages like Spanish and English in the US. Is it really beneficial? It can set you apart from the rest.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I think me being multilingual sets me apart from a lot of different people. You know, especially in the job market right now, since the US is a very diverse and multicultural country. I feel like Spanish-speaking individuals is becoming the norm. So everybody that's bilingual and speaks both English and Spanish is at a huge advantage because you know, the Latino community is growing in the U.S. And
wow, you know, back when I was teaching there used to be 1 million Spanish speakers in Chicago alone. Just 1 million people. Maybe now there are more. And in the U.S., there currently, I think it's over 50 million people speak Spanish. So it's huge. Our community.
Yeah, it's huge. Exactly. Yeah, it's becoming the norm for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you go to like the bank or you call into a company, now it's normal to have an option for Spanish and for English.
That is awesome. It is massive.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, exactly.
because we have kind of a mission to our company, You Talk TV. Our mission is to save the English language. We need to save it because it is especially in the Hispanic community, it is taught so badly that we want to save it. And basically our theory is if we make the Hispanic community, like the 50 million people, Hispanic or Spanish people speaking people in the world, if we make them speak both English and Spanish at the same level, we're going to be the most powerful community in the world.
Exactly. Yeah, you said it. And I think that's one thing that is a drawback for the Latino community is
that word. I like that.
English.
A drawback is like un inconveniente, right?
Un inconveniente, sí.
I like that word, a drawback, right?
Drawback, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think not knowing English is a drawback for the Latino community. You know, I feel like if more people spoke English, then like you said, we would be
the most powerful.
You know, huge. We would be a powerful community
and influential, because guess what? The Anglo-Saxon community, American, English, British, they're not going to learn Spanish. No way.
No,
they're not going to.
They're not.
Chinese people, they're really bad English speakers. But we are proven the Hispanic community can speak good English. So if we could do it, then everybody can do it. And so that's why we say we need to save the English language and make all the Hispanic community speak English. And but it can give us a lot of power, like nothing else, I guess.
Exactly. And I'll tell you a story. I have a cousin in Mexico who's a teacher, and you know, back when I was a student over there, teaching English in schools was not really part of the curriculum. But nowadays, she's a teacher and she speaks English, and it's becoming normal. Now it's almost required.
Sorry, where is she now? Is she in Mexico, or is she here there?
She's in Mexico. Yeah.
Wow. And do you talk to her in English sometimes?
I talk to her in English from time to time. She says I speak too fast.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And does she have a good accent, like a decent pronunciation and fluency and stuff?
Yeah, I can understand all her words. Obviously, some of the words that we speak here are a little bit different, but yeah, she speaks very good English. And I was a little bit amazed and actually proud that she spoke so well.
Might be running in the family then, Angel.
I think so.
That is awesome. No, that's plus not only do you speak a really good English, but you really articulate. Like I can tell you, there's some training there. Like you've been attending college and you still like reading and doing stuff and studying, and because yeah, man, outstanding.
Yeah, I try to read as much as I can, honestly, and I try to speak as properly as I can.
No, I know that because like I said, back when I was teaching you from September all the way to the end of the year, like the academic year, you made such a huge progress. And it's because you were paying attention to those details, and you brought it up before, like you had your own system of repetition, listen to yourself, correcting yourself. And because one thing is speaking English and even speaking it fluently, but another thing is just speaking it with a natural rhythm and natural pronunciation and natural, well, you know, like that's makes a whole different impact on your image and the way you use it and everything. So that's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like you said, it, repetition is key, especially trying to get the pronunciation for different kinds of words. So
what tips would you give our audience for them to improve their pronunciation? Like yes, like you said, maybe a repetition and listen to yourself and be a little bit of a pay attention to details, maybe.
yeah, so one of the biggest pieces of advice I can provide to the community is to not be embarrassed. Don't be shy. I think definitely repetition and natural conversation is probably the best way to learn. That worked for me. So, you know, don't be embarrassed. Try to speak with someone who is a native English speaker, just so you can kind of get an idea of the pronunciation of words or their style of speaking. But definitely repetition and conversation is very important.
It's key, and just try to get yourself to think in English, to speak and think in real time, right?
Exactly.
Wow, very cool. And also I wanted to bring up in at field school, there was something called the bilingual program. And it was, that's where I was teaching there through the bilingual program. Basically, it was like a program to get to those students with Hispanic or Spanish background, just to get you used to the English language, right? How many, do you remember how many years you spent in that program?
Yeah, so I spent a total of about 5 years in that program. So I started in 3rd grade, 4th and 5th, all throughout middle school as well, which is 6th, 7th, and 8th. And I think I actually spent 1 year of high school in there too. So
And then you
about
moved,
5.5.
okay, and then you moved to the mainstream lessons. Wow.
Exactly. Yeah.
So basically, what you were there is as you were learning, improving your English basic skills like reading and writing and stuff, but at the same time, you were also having some support on your home language, because there's a theory that says if your home language is good, then your second language is going to be good too. So in other words, for you to learn a second language faster and better, you also need to provide some support to your home language, right? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely agree. I think one of the biggest points that helped me succeed is because, you know, I had Spanish speakers around me. You know, we could practice our English together, but when we were stuck on something or we didn't know something, we could always just revert back to Spanish and kind of talk it out, as they say.
Exactly. And then you can also, to me at least, it works a lot to link what you know in Spanish, try to link it to your English. It also helps, like a lot of pronunciation tracks and stuff, and even just grammar and expressions and rules that you know in your home language. Then you can just move it to the English language. That helps a lot.
Exactly. Yeah, and that goes back to kind of thinking in English. You know, at first I didn't realize it, but English and Spanish are very similar to each other. So they're very similar, and once you start thinking about it like that, then it becomes a lot easier.
Yeah, absolutely. Thinking in full structures, and then maybe not translate it word by word, but maybe full structures.
Yeah, sentence structure is very similar.
Absolutely. And something else that we teach with our program is how to link words. So instead of saying how to link words, they say how to link words. So instead of saying do you know how to play the guitar? So we teach our students, say, hey, do you know how to play the guitar? Hey, do you know how to play? Like, put it all together, right? It is relevant.
Exactly. It sounds more natural and it sounds conversational.
Exactly. And then our theory is like, if you produce those sentences the way they say it in the real world, chances are you're gonna get to understand them better. Like if you teach our students, say, hey, do you know how to play the guitar? Then when they listen to you say, hey, do you know how to play the guitar? The understanding is easier, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I think, you know, once you hear English being spoken in a fluid manner, it becomes easier to understand. And then again, it kind of sticks with you. So then you have a greater chance of repeating it the same way.
Exactly. Very cool. Very cool. All right. I wanted to mention something. You might not remember that, but it might have been like back when it had been like a couple of months since we started the academic year in your year. My parents came to visit, and like my dad went up to you, and then he shook hands with you, and you acted like a mature person, apparently. And mi padre me dice, oh, hola, ¿qué tal? Y tú le dijiste, hola, señor, ¿cómo está usted? Mi padre estaba tan impresionado de decir, este chico me ha saludado como si fuera una persona mayor. Digo, no, es que es muy inteligente. Tiene que ser súper listo. Digo, sí. Me ha saludado como una persona, le saludaste, ¿sabes? Y luego me lo recordó varias veces. Y luego pondría aquí una foto que tengo precisamente, tengo una foto tuya que te mandé hace unos años, y sales así, haciendo así. Pues esa te la hizo mi padre, con la cámara de fotos. Y me acuerdo de eso, porque él te saludó y tú le saludaste. Hola, señor, ¿qué tal está? No sé qué. No. Y mi padre se quedó impresionado. Digo, sí, es muy inteligente. Este chico va a llegar lejos. Le seguiré la pista. Yo le decía, ya verás cómo le seguiré la pista y ya verás cómo llegará lejos. Así que... Yes.
Muchas gracias, maestro. Sí, sí me acuerdo de estos padres cuando vinieron.
¿te acuerdas? Pues es que
sí,
estuvieron a visitar.
Claro.
Sí. Y estuvieron y eso, me acuerdo que te saludé y eso dijo mi padre. Y sí, curioso, ¿eh? La memoria a veces. Pues sí.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, go ahead. También me acuerdo que usted era muy fanático de Van Halen.
Oh, yes. Do you remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah, well, that's been one of my favorite bands ever. So much so now I have one of his guitars, and his style is totally what I love. And I've been playing guitar since I was 7, and most of the style that he's been really influential. He passed away a month ago.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, rest in peace. But that's one of the things I remember about you as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I was constantly talking about music, and I was, but that might have been a different year. Because that was 2003. There was a famous movie, The School of Rock, but that might have been a couple of years later. And I was constantly talking about that movie, and so much, and so much so that one of the kids just recorded, videotaped it, and brought it to me like as a gift. But yes, I was constantly talking about music and stuff. And
yeah, exactly. And now you get to incorporate music with teaching English.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because like a lot of like theme songs, and also we use a technique which is I was telling you that we teach how to link words and put words together. So we use a lot of rhythm patterns for the students to link those words. Like, for example, ¿de qué estás hablando? No? So what are you talking about? They can say, what are you talking about? So we make them repeat, like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Hey, what are you talking about? And because if you use music and rhythm, naturally it gives you those speech patterns that are so typical in English.
Exactly. And everybody remembers a good melody, you know?
Absolutely. And but yes, it's those are a lot of the tricks and techniques I learned teaching those years, like 2-3 years, you know. And I even remember I had to teach math and language and spelling, and so it made me learn a lot, even, you know, like multiplying divisions, subtractions in English, and especially the divisions are just the opposite of how we do it in here, manually.
Really?
Like, yeah, I don't even remember how to do it. Even in Spanish now, if you tell me how to do that, but I had to learn it to teach you guys how to. La divisiones, like justo la cajetilla había que hacerla al revés, and then fracciones, fractions, percentages, and all that. I learned so much out of teaching, because when you have to teach something, you have to.
Yeah, you have to know it yourself.
Exactly. So a lot of the maths that I know today, like the practical stuff, lo sé porque lo tuve que enseñar, los tenía que enseñar a vosotros. Así que sí, es súper curioso. Y nada, algo más te quería preguntar, pero ya creo que no sé si tengo algo por aquí apuntado. Y a día de hoy, tu inglés, nivel de inglés y español, ¿cómo se comparan? ¿Dirías que es parecido o es mejor tu nivel de inglés que el de español?
Bueno, en este día yo pienso que mi nivel de inglés es un poco mejor que mi español, nada más porque, bueno, hablo inglés todos los días y el español no lo practico tanto como yo quisiera. Hablo más español con mis padres y con mi familia, pero sí, pero mi inglés yo pienso que es un poco mejor que mi español.
No, pero español hablas muy bien también, ¿eh?
Gracias.
No tienes nada de acento, o sea, tú ahora si fueses aquí a España o fueras a México, nadie se daría cuenta que realmente eres americano. O sea, eso es muy buena cosa. Y lo mismo en inglés. Es impresionante, porque son idiomas con un acento muy distinto. Y cuéntame, allí tú conocerás a gente, que incluso gente de tu edad, que sí que tiene a lo mejor al hablar inglés algo de acento español, ¿no?
Sí, especialmente aquí en Chicago hay mucha comunidad hispana y sí, mucha gente tiene acento español cuando habla inglés.
Sí,
Le
como a
dicen
lo mejor,
aquí chicanos.
I think there is a problem, ¿no? Algo así, ¿no? O en vez de I think, dicen I think, o hay típicas defectos, o hacer a lo mejor la I o la R, ¿no? Paper en vez de paper, o la L, ¿no? Table en lugar de table.
Exactly, yeah. Como la gente dice table o en vez de table.
Exactly. Sabes que nosotros hemos creado una cosa, esto a puro de out of teaching. Hemos creado 5 letras clave, a ver si coincides conmigo, que son las que siempre fallamos los hispanos, los latinos, ¿vale? La R, porque a veces decimos paper en vez de paper. La L es otra letra clave, lo mismo, porque es, pues en vez de decir pencil, a veces decimos pencil, ¿no?
Exacto, sí.
Luego hay otra que la llamamos la I como una E, porque vemos una I, decimos think, y a veces normalmente es think. Y vemos decimos I like it, y realmente es I like it, o así, ¿no? Y luego hay otra letra clave que es la G y la J, porque la gente tiende a decir en June en vez de June, en July en vez de July. Y otra que es la
Exacto.
SH. La SH porque muchos de nuestros alumnos dicen sí en vez de she, o English en vez de English, ¿no?
Exacto, sí. Pero yo veo que la combinación que afecta más a la gente es la I y la E.
La I con la E, ¿verdad? La I
Yeah.
Nosotros lo que decimos, chicos, si queremos salvar el inglés, tenemos que hacer la I como una E, porque es que está por todas partes. I like it, put it on, important en vez de important, o palabras con muchas I's, por ejemplo, anybody, y tienden a decir anybody, o la I como una E. Decimos, si queremos salvar el inglés, tenemos que hacer la I. Guys, if you want to save the English language, then you have to make the E sound like an E. Y se cumple casi siempre.
Yeah, that's the next movement. Save the English language.
Yeah, we need to save the English language, because otherwise, yes, we're not going to be the most powerful community in the world. Do you agree, Angel?
I agree wholeheartedly, yes.
Wholeheartedly. That's a good one. I'll take it down. Say it again.
Wholeheartedly.
Wholeheartedly. Oh my God, I can tell you are articulate. Good job. Awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Wholeheartedly. I'll take it down and I'll teach it. Hey, Angel. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. I can't imagine how much it's going to help this to boost the motivation and the learning spirit of our community. And anything else you want to bring up? Any final recommendation? Go ahead.
Yeah, so first and foremost, thank you, Maestro. It's an honor being here, and it's a pleasure, just being in this interview with you.
Thank you so much.
You were a very important person in my life growing up, so it's amazing, just being here with you. But one of the pieces of advice I just want to reiterate to people is just, just keep practicing. Don't be embarrassed when you're learning English. It's a very powerful language, and it's a very powerful tool to have. And I think nowadays being bilingual is almost necessary, especially living in the US. Just practice on your repetition, practice on your accent, on your pronunciation, and just try to have real world conversations with people. Because I'm learning how to program. So one thing that they teach us is that you got to put what you know to practice, or else you'll never be good at it. So it's the same thing with speaking English. You have to speak it every day, and don't be embarrassed.
Yes, what we say too is fake it until you make it. Like at first, it just sounds maybe rusty and not really natural, but it becomes natural once you repeat it, and then once you take it in, right? It's just practice, get some use of it, and it'll become more natural, right?
Exactly. Practice makes perfect, as we say over here.
That's it. Hey, Angel, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And it's been such a nice gesture. And it's been awesome to see you again and see you're making so much progress in your life. And I bet on you when you were a kid. And I'm so happy to see that I was not wrong. That huge potential that you had as a student. And it's just showing now. So very good. You're setting an example, and I'm so happy to have you here because I've mentioned you in many of my, videos and conversations and stuff, and it's just proven that what I'm telling our community is real, and that's an extra boost of motivation for our community, and one more step for our goal to make to save the English language and to make our community more trained and more competitive and more prepared to compete in the real world. So hey, thank you so much, and talk to you later. All right,
Maestro. Thank you. Talk to you later.
Bye bye.